Over the last 4 years, I became part of our wonderful RPTA family, and it's hard for me to put into words how much this major means to me, but I'm going to give it my best try. For many of you graduating today, this is exactly where you wanted to be. For the rest of us, including myself, RPTA was something we happened upon after arriving at Cal Poly. I had contemplated transferring colleges during my freshman year, but was determined to stay for at least 1 year, partly from a promise to myself, but also because my parents always told me that everything deserved a fair chance. I came to Cal Poly as a business major, thinking I had chosen wisely because I always knew what I wanted to do, but I just needed to find a place that would help me get there. And after a few months in, I realized the business major just wasn't doing it for me. Then someone told me about RPTA. I remember the first day I met Dr. Hendricks and asked him if I could transfer into the major. He met with me personally, which came as a shock, considering I couldn't recall what the head of the Orphalea College of Business looked like, and I had attended all of the orientation programs. After we spoke, I left with the necessary paperwork and began the forbidden change of major process. After one short quarter, I was diving headfirst into the information. Over my next 3 years, I would become so involved that I spent more time in the faculty offices working on projects, auctions, and quiz bowl teams than I did in my own home. I loved every chaotic minute of it, and that's what I'm so thankful for about this major. We are encouraged to go after the dream in our hearts, not because of how much money we'll make, but because it will make us happy. In preparation for this speech, because I was so nervous, I started watching YouTube videos about commencement speeches to get some tips, which I know is really nerdy, but... and I didn't want to come off cliche, but Steve Jobs mentioned in his 2005 address at Stanford something that really hit home for me. He said, "Doing what you love will give you the confidence to travel off the well-worn path." In high school, a vice principal told me that doing choir and musical theater would lower my chances of becoming a salutatorian. And when I told someone that my major in college was RPTA, they said, "Change to computer sciences, that's where the money is." Obviously, I didn't take the advice of these individuals. Why? Because the things that I chose to do is what made me happy, and it made me who I am today. We all love RPTA differently, but we went through similar experiences that bonded us. Being up until 3 in the morning cleaning up the RPTA Midnight Fun Run, knowing that it was all worth it, struggling to complete team building activities in 205 because we were all laughing so hard, and of course suffering through senior project, which requires no explanation. The faculty members we walked these 4 years with have been teachers, supporters, mentors, and friends. As many of us have seen, there are a lot of changes going on in this department over the last few quarters. With Professor Moyer and Professor Root retiring and leaving, and Dr. Jacobs getting the job of history at the camp in Michigan, the class of 2017 will experience something completely different than we had. They will not know Dr. Jacobs, a man who tried each and every day to make himself a better person, who welcomed and thanked students for coming to class each and every day. They will not know Professor Moyer, a woman who patiently took on the thankless job of teaching us finance and helping us plan our 4 years. They will not know Professor Root, a vivacious woman with an insatiable passion for events. They will not know the magical combination of faculty that we knew for the last 4 years. But they will know more of the ones that are staying, who I know have influenced all of us very deeply. And I know that if the new professors that they're getting have even a fraction of the passion that the ones that we've seen here, what they'll have will be equally as magical. How lucky we are to graduate with not only an excellent education, but all these faculty members who have become dear friends, who want us to go out and do exactly what we've always dreamed of doing, and I dearly hope that we do.